Welcome back, everybody. My name is Victor Prasad. I'm a real estate agent here in Southwest Florida, Cape Coral. And if this is your first time here, I create videos on home buying and selling tips. And in today's video, we're going to talk about 4 tips that you need to know about before you purchase land here in Cape Coral. So roll the intro. So before we get into today's video, let me know in the comment section below, what is it that you wanted to know before you buy land? So, tip number 1, the first thing that you want to do when you're purchasing a property is get a survey. Sometimes you buy a property, you see a sign, or you look at a property and you see a sign on the property, but you don't know if that's the middle of the property or if that sign's on the edge of the property or even on the other side of the property. So my first recommendation is getting a survey so you know exactly what you're getting. There's been a time, I have a quick story. So there was a time that I spoke to this client while I was prospecting on the phones, and her brother bought a property back in the 90s in Cape Coral, and this is a part of town that's very populated now. During that time though, there was a bunch of vacant properties next to it, and in this specific property that they bought, they didn't get a survey because they thought they were just getting a piece of land that was on a canal with, you know, over 120 feet of frontage, and come to find out that the property was shaped like an L. It wasn't even like a regular square shape or rectangular shaped property at all. So it's important that you get a survey done so you know exactly what you're getting. So the second tip I have for you is when you're assessing the property that you're gonna buy, you might want to check to see if there's vegetation in the pictures or in person, and just know that there's going to be an inherent cost to get that vegetation knocked down and get the land cleared up. Tip number 3, wildlife. So in different states this may vary, but here in Cape Coral, Florida, we have a bird called the burrowing owl. So you're probably wondering, how do you even know if you have a burrowing owl on your property? Well, generally it's usually staked out and they have a T-perch right in the middle of the habitat, and that'll let you know if there is an owl on the property. So how does that affect the build of your home? Well, if the habitat is right where your house is going to be built, you're going to have to apply for a permit to have that owl relocated. If you're wondering what those costs look like, you could go to www.myfwc.com. and that will give you a list of all the costs. Everything's on a case-by-case basis, and they let you know how they're gonna treat the owl and what they'll do to relocate that owl and make sure that it has a great home moving forward. So tip number 4, assessments. Assessments in Cape Coral, Florida, I'm gonna read the definition to you right here. So special assessments are one-time charges to property owners when their property is serviced for potable water, sewer, or irrigation water. Once any of these services are available, hookup to water and sewer lines is mandatory for all developed properties. So you're probably wondering, where do you go, or how do you know what properties are having city sewer and water being put in, or which properties have balances on them, or if the balances have already been assessed? Well, you could go to www.capecoral.net, and they have a future extension map of where city and water and sewer is being proposed to be installed, and what areas have them, what areas don't have them. And you could also go to a special search where you could actually go to the specific property that you're looking at purchasing and seeing if there's a balance on the assessments, or if the tax bill has already been assessed those balances. I'll put a video link up here in the iCard for you to watch a video on me navigating the capecoral.net website of the assessments. Now, here's the bonus tip. Flood insurance. You want to make sure that you check the flood zone of the area. Now, when you're going to buy a lot, they're going to have to put a dirt pad down to elevate the lot. In most cases, it's 8 to 12 inches above the floodplain, so that way your flood insurance is lower. So you always want to make sure that the flood zone that you're in, what the required elevation is, to make sure that you are insurable for flood insurance and you get a reduced rate. If you like this video and you found it valuable, number 1, share it to someone that you think that may be buying a lot. Number 2, smash subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.